A very good morning to all the students of class 9th. And students, as you know, we were doing the second chapter of your geography book, and the name of the chapter is Physical Features of India. We had already completed 5 parts, and this is the sixth part of this chapter. Okay, so basically in that fifth part and fourth part, we were discussing some of the major physiographic divisions of India. In that we had already discussed about the Himalayas, and then in the last video we had discussed in detail about the northern plains. Okay, and today we will be doing the third physiographic division, which is also one of the most important one, and its name, the topic you can see here, the Peninsular Plateau. So the topic for the day, or the physiographic division which we are going to understand today, is the Peninsular Plateau. Okay, so first before we start this topic, let us understand the meaning of the title, that is the Peninsular and Plateau separately. Then together we will try and understand what does this mean and what is the content we are going to cover under this particular video. So before we start, let's understand what is peninsular or peninsula. And I hope and I'm sure you all of you know that in the junior classes you all have read that a land mass which is covered by water by three sides is called peninsula. As you can see, the southernmost part of India, which is a peninsula, which is covered by three water bodies, that is Bay of Bengal, Arabian Sea and Indian Ocean. So all of you know this shape, okay, like that. So this side, okay, Arabian Sea, here Bay of Bengal, and here Indian Ocean. So this part is called peninsula. Okay, but now you have understood the meaning of peninsula and you already know it, but we have to understand here plateau also, and the definition of plateau also I'm sure you know. These are the basic concepts you must know from the very junior classes. What is plateau? A tableland like structure. Okay, so we have seen mountains. We had read about Himalayan mountains, mountain ranges. Then we have seen northern plains like that. Now we are studying about the structures, which is like table here. It is having height, but it is flat from the top. So plateaus are the raised platforms, same like the mountains, but mountains have these peaks. Okay, mountains are having these peaks. If you talk about mountain ranges of Himalayas, they have these peaks. But if you talk about plateaus are also elevated from the ground, but they are flat from the this top part of the plateaus flat. That is why we can also call a plateau as a tableland, or same shape like a table. Like you are studying on a table, in the same way plateau is also like a table. So structure having a table pattern, same like a table flat from the upper part, is called a plateau. So basically we are trying to understand this part of India, Peninsular Plateau, because this landform of India, it is formed in such a way that it is like a table from the upper part. Okay, although this part is higher, it is elevated from the ground, it is not equal. These are the mountains here, then you find this valley of northern plains here, but again the land is elevated here. You will find the elevation, you will find the altitude of the land here, but the difference is here you find the peaks, here you will find it is flat from the upper part. So this is what we called as plateau. So we'll try to understand this complete region as Peninsular Plateau. What are the divisions under this? We shall cover that also. So in this topic we are trying to cover Peninsular Plateau in context to India completely. To understand this topic, Peninsular Plateau, this map on page number 10 of your chapter is very important, because whenever you will read your NCERT book, must see this map, because this map explains you everything. If you understand this concept which I am going to explain you through this map, then after that you will read the content of the book, everything will be very much clear to you. But if you don't understand the proper locations of this map, it would be very difficult for you to understand the content of NCERT book, and this is very complicated here. You need to understand the concept easily and from the map. So this part we have covered as we are studying the physiographic divisions of India. First we have completed Himalayas, we have read properly. Then we had talked about these northern plains. Okay, this is the northern plain. But after here, now we are studying Peninsular Plateau. So this part and this part, this is called a peninsula. As you know, as I've told you, this is the peninsula, as this landmass is covered by three water bodies from three sides: Arabian Sea, Bay of Bengal, and Indian Ocean. So this is a peninsula. So this is we call as Peninsular Plateau. One thing important for you is to understand that this Peninsular Plateau has been divided into two parts, and two divisions are: one is called the Central Highlands and other is called the Deccan Plateau. So you can see this part is called the Deccan Plateau. Okay, this V-shaped part is called the Deccan Plateau, and above this is called the Central Highland. This part is called the Central Highland. So if we talk about the peninsula or the Peninsular Plateau of India, you have to remember it is divided into two parts. This is Central Highland and this is Deccan Plateau. So separately we will be understanding them, but important thing is here how we divide this. So you must be knowing this river. This is river Narmada. Here you can locate river Narmada, I hope, in your map. I'm just zooming it a little bit. This is river Narmada, and north to river Narmada is the part of Central Highland. Okay, Malwa Plateau, Chota Nagpur Plateau are the part of Central Highlands. But if you talk south to this Narmada river, this is the part of Deccan Plateau. So here the boundary line is the Narmada river. You have to always remember, north of the Narmada river is the Central Highlands, and the south to the Narmada river is the Deccan Plateau. So this is a rough sketch which you always have to keep in mind, and now we'll try to understand the concept. But at least one thing you should have in mind is Narmada river is the important river, and to the north of Narmada river is the Central Highlands, and to the south of Narmada river is the Deccan Plateau. So this is the division, as we can see. Now we'll do the detailed study of this. Let's see the introduction part of this. The Peninsular Plateau, just now I have just shown you on the map so that you can have a rough idea that about which location we are talking about. So the Peninsular Plateau, the tableland composed of the old crystalline, igneous and metamorphic rock. So if you talk about the structure of the contents and the sediments of which this Peninsular Plateau has been formed, it is formed by the crystalline, igneous and the metamorphic rocks which erupted from the molten magma, all the volcanic eruptions, and finally it solidified. So this raised platform because of the volcanic eruptions is called the Peninsular Plateau, formed due to the breaking and drifting of the Gondwana land. This we have seen how the Gondwana land broke away and drifted towards the Eurasian plate, and Indo-Australian and Eurasian plates collided with each other, and there was also formation of Himalayas. But in the southern part of India there were volcanic eruptions, and during that process of volcanic eruptions there were raised platforms formed. Those are called peninsular plateaus. The peninsular plateaus is made up of black soil. That is why they are formed of black soil, because millions of years they were formed because of the volcanic origins, all the volcanic eruptions, and finally those rocks with the processes of erosion, weathering and deposition formed from this black soil. That is why you see in region of Maharashtra we have black soil where we produce cotton. The plateau has broad and shallow valleys and rounded hills. Now this plateau region, entire plateau region, as a triangular piece of land mass which we call as peninsula. This has many shallow valleys we read, and it has rounded hills also. Okay, so we'll read about them. So if we talk about the entire peninsula, it is divided into two parts, as I have told you in the map also. So to understand this Peninsula Plateau, we will not understand as a whole. This is the basic characteristics of Peninsular Plateau, but if we have to study in detail, we have to make the two divisions, that is the Central Highlands and Deccan Plateau. So first of all, we will study about Central Highlands. Again, I am showing you what are the Central Highlands. As I have told you, this part, north of, including Satpura range, Narmada Valley and Vidya range, till Aravali range, this is the area, and including the Chota Nagpur region. So this is the region of Central Highlands. So first of all, we'll try to understand this part. Starting with the Central Highlands now. Part lying to the north of the Narmada river. As I told you, Central Highlands are the part of Peninsular Plateau which are north to the Narmada river, and I hope you can find the location of the Narmada river. You can see it in your NCERT book, page number 10. major part of the Malwa Plateau makes up the central land. If you talk about the central land, so major part of the central land, if you talk about complete area of central highlands as a part of peninsular plateau we are studying, so major part of this central highland is covered by Malwa Plateau, and the location has been given in the map. You can see it easily, Malwa Plateau, covered by the Vindhyas in the north. So if you will see the location, then covered by Vindhya in the north, it means in the north direction is Vindhyas range, and in the south is the Satpura range. Aravalli is on the northwestern part. Okay, I will show you in the map. See, this is Narmada river. To the north is Vindhyan range, to the south is Satpura range, and to the northwest is Aravalli range. So this is the location of the central highlands. This is Malwa Plateau, which forms the biggest part of this central highlands, and this is Chota Nagpur. Okay, we'll study about this also. Rivers such as Chambal, the Sindh, the Betwa, and the Ken flows from its southwest to the southeast, indicating the slope. So now these rivers are flowing from southwest direction to southeast. If a river is flowing from a southwest direction to southeast, it means the slope is towards the southeast. It means the shape of the land is like this. It means it is higher at the southwestern part and it is lower towards southeastern part. Okay, like one river has been shown here, Chambal, as a tributary of Yamuna, and finally it is joining Ganga, and this is like other river Betwa. So these are the rivers which are flowing from southwestern part to southeastern. It means this region of Indian Peninsula is higher as compared to this part, because water always flows from a higher altitude to the lower altitude. It means the height of the land from the sea level is higher here, so here the landforms are higher as compared to this part. That is why water or the river water is flowing from this direction to this water, and finally draining its water into the Bay of Bengal. So most of the rivers you will find in India are draining their water into Bay of Bengal. The reason being, the region, this part, the western part of the peninsula is higher in altitude as compared to the eastern part. That is why water is flowing towards the east. Now you must be thinking then why Narmada is flowing to the west then in Tapi, because this is a rift valley, and when we were studying about the plate tectonics, we were studying about the three movements of the plates. What happened here? Divergent plate movement. One plate moved to this side, one plate moved towards this side. So in the between these two ranges, Vindhya range and Satpura range, there was a formation of rift valley, and because of that rift valley, the flow of the water has gone towards Arabian Sea. Otherwise, most of the rivers you will see their flow is towards the Bay of Bengal. So it means the land is higher over here as compared to the eastern part. Now next point is the central highlands. If we talk about the entire central highlands, are wider in the western. If we talk about the central highland, they are wider if we talk about their western part, but they are narrow. It means they are tapered like Indian land mass, and peninsula is tapered towards the south. In the same way, if you move from west to east, the central highlands are wider into the west and they become taper or narrow towards the east, and they are known as Bundelkhand and Bageshkhand. Okay, and Chota Nagpur Plateau marks the further eastward extension. So if we talk about the most eastward extension of these central highlands, so Chota Nagpur Plateau is the eastern extension of central highlands, and I will show you that in the map. You can see here the Malwa Plateau, you can see here, and this is Bundelkhand Plateau and Bageshkhand, Chota Nagpur. So we are saying, if we talk about the area here, these central highlands are broader to the western part, but if you move from west to east, they become narrow. You can see this is broader here, this becomes narrow here, and this is Deccan Plateau. As entire plateau region we have divided into two parts. This is a part of central highlands, and this we are going to study now, Deccan Plateau. This central part is called Deccan Plateau. So entire peninsular this part, entire peninsula has been divided into two parts, so you can see it easily. This upper part is called the central highlands, this is Deccan Plateau. This is also one of the important division which has been shown, like Indian peninsula has been cut down into two halves. This bottom part you can see, this is called the Deccan Plateau, which we'll be studying here, and the upper part which we have studied including Aravallis, Chota Nagpur, and this part of Central Highlands and Malwa Plateau. This is called Central Highlands. This is called Deccan Plateau. So when we talk about the topic Peninsular Plateau, you have to understand two parts. There are two parts of it, the Central Highlands and the Deccan Plateau. So now I have shown you in the map already, so you can easily read it from your book and you will be able to understand. Deccan Plateau, it is a part of Peninsular Plateau. One Central Highlands we have completed. So this Deccan Plateau, this is a triangular landmass lying south of the river Narmada. Once I am showing you, then I will read the points. This is Deccan Plateau, south. I told you south of Narmada, that is under this complete triangular landmass. This is called Deccan Plateau. Now we have to study about this Deccan Plateau. Don't include this. This is Eastern Ghat. This is Western Ghat. There will be a next topic. We will be covering that also. But the middle part, this is called Deccan Plateau. Although this entire part is called Peninsular Plateau, but we have divided into two parts. Okay, Central Highlands and Deccan Plateau. This is called Deccan Plateaus. But Western Ghats and Eastern Ghats are also important, and we will study them separately. So let's see the location now of this Deccan Plateau, as it is a triangular landmass lying south of the river Narmada. The borders Satpura, it's a northern boundary. So if you see the north part of this Deccan Plateau, it is Satpura range. Okay, Satpura range. And if we talk about it, eastern border, eastern part is Mahadev, Kaimur Hills and Maikal range. These are the ranges and small hills which make its eastern border. So we have discussed here its northern border and the eastern border. Tilted towards east. Now what do we understand by tilted towards east? The Deccan Plateau is higher in the west. As not only Deccan Plateau, we have discussed it about complete Peninsular Plateau. It is higher in the western direction and it slopes gently eastward. That is why most of the rivers are flowing towards east. Okay, and there we have most eastward flowing rivers. The reason is because this Deccan Plateau is higher, or the entire plateau is higher in the western part, and it slopes gently eastward. An extension of this plateau is also found in northeast, and the extension, if you see the extension till the last boundary of these plateaus, you will find it goes up to northeastern states. Meghalaya Plateau, you will see a part of this Deccan Plateau is also a part of Meghalaya Plateau, especially Garo, Khasi and Jayanta hills. These are the hills which form the plateau, Meghalaya Plateau, Karbi Anglong Plateau and the North Kochar Hills. These are the parts which are found in northeast, as also a part of Deccan Plateau, but they are being separated by the flowing of rivers. I will show you. You can see here Deccan Plateau, and has gone till here, Chota Nagpur here, and this range has gone till here, but this range has been broken down or been eroded by the flow of river. As you know, so many rivers are flowing through this region of eastern part, so they have eroded this complete plateau from this eastern part, and that is why the left over the eastern part, most eastern part of this Malwa Plateau, or sorry, of the Deccan Plateau, is Garo, Khasi, Jaintia hills in this part. Okay, now after this plateau regions, there's two divisions we have studied: Peninsular Plateau, the Central Highlands and Deccan Plateau. After finishing them, we are studying one of the important point, that is Western Ghats and the Eastern Ghats. Okay, so let me show you the location of the Western Ghats and the Eastern Ghats first, then we'll start studying it. Now we are going to cover this part. As you can see with the dark brown color, these are the ranges, small mountain ranges. This is called Western Ghat because it is in the western side of the country, and this is called the Eastern Ghats. Okay, and you can see this brown shaded part starting from Mahanadi till here, starting from Tapi till here, and these are Nilgiri hills. Both are meeting nearby here also. Okay, so we're going to cover these two ghats now. Both Western and Eastern Ghats lies west and east of the Deccan Plateau respectively. So from the point of view of the Deccan Plateau, so to the west of the Deccan Plateau is the Western Ghat, and to the east of the Deccan Plateau is the Eastern Ghat. Both the ghats have some distinctive features. So these two ghats are not the same and identical. If we talk about their formation and structure and locations, both have distinct features, and so it becomes important to differentiate both of them. So we are going to discuss how they are different from each other. So first, talking about the Western Ghats. So continuous, these ghats are the continuous and can be crossed through passes only. So these ghats, western ghats, are the continuous hill ranges, or we could say the range. It is continuous like this. There is no breakage, so they are very continuous. So if we have to cross these ranges, we have to move between these areas of the mountains, and these are called passes. That is why it is written, these are the continuous mountain ranges and can be crossed through passes only. Higher than the eastern ghats, if we compare the eastern ghats and the western ghats, the height of the western ghats is more. Average elevation is like 900 to 1600 meters, like it is almost equal to the Shivalik, as we were reading the three ranges of Himalayas. In the same way, here also the altitude or the height of the range of western ghats is between 900 to 1600 meters. They stretch from Tapi to south of the Nilgiri hills. So these western ghats, it starts from the river Tapi and they go up to the south of Nilgiri hills. Let me show you that. So this range, this western ghats are starting from river Tapi, very next to river Tapi. You can see river Tapi starting from here and going up to rivers here, Nilgiri hills, south of Nilgiri. These are Nilgiri hills and south of Nilgiri hills. So this is the location of western ghats, and this is continuous. You can see there are very small passes here, but almost they are continuous. As compared to the eastern ghats, they are not continuous at all. You can see so many breaks here. Okay. Another important characteristic is Western Ghat cause orographic rains because the height of the range is 900 to 1600 meters. So the moisture laden winds come and they collide with these mountain ranges, and they pour all the water in the moisture in the air in these Western Ghats area only. Highest progressively increase from north to south. Highest peak Anamundi 2695 meters. So this is one of the highest peak of the Western Ghats. So they are saying height progressively increase. So height of the range will increase as you move from south north to south. It means if you will travel to south from north region during if you are covering the Western Ghats, so the highest peaks will found in the southern part, and this is the highest peak, Anamundi. Now we will cover the Eastern Ghats. Discontinuous, as I have shown you in the map, they are not continuous, irregular, and dissected by the rivers. That is why we have seen some part of it in the Meghalaya Plateau, okay, which we saw as Garo Hills, Khasi Hills, because the rivers had cut down these plateaus with their flow. They have deposited their plateau region to the Bay of Bengal. Average elevation is 600 meters. So as you saw there, the height of the ranges were 900 to 1600 meters, but here the height would be only 600 meters. The Eastern Ghat stretch from Mahanadi Valley to the Nilgiri Hills. Okay, so I will show you Mahanadi. This range starts from here, see Mahanadi, and it will go up to the south of Nilgiri, same almost. They are meeting here only. Okay, so you can see here, this is a range, and this is not continuous. There are gaps, and this part has been eroded by the flow of rivers. As I told you, rivers have intersected it. Many rivers like Godavari has intersected from here, Krishna has intersected from here, Kaveri has intersected from here, because most of the rivers are east flowing. That is why they have cut down, intersected these Eastern Ghats, and that is why they are not continuous, they are discontinuous. Highest peak of Eastern Ghat is Mahendragiri, that is 1501 meter. Shivaroy Hills and Javedi Hills are located to the southeast of it. So these are some of the highest peaks and important peaks of Eastern Ghats. With this we have completed the topic, and I will be giving you certain important questions of this topic, the Peninsular Plateau, including Western Ghats and Eastern Ghats. Okay, till then, thank you, take care.